I'm gonna do an Uncharted 1 runs because, you know, that's what I do when in doubt. Because we don't have enough time to do it an entire run, so I'm gonna do a tweaked run, which is well, it's a 90% no airwalk with tweaks. So yeah, I can't start the timer either, so we're just gonna have to like eyeball it. Okay, let's go. So I'm gonna be playing this with tweaks, so can I not enable it? Okay, never mind, we're not gonna be doing that.
How the hell?
Wait, I have... No, that was because of the animation. Anyway, let's just do this.
Out here.
These guys have been tailing me for weeks. Thought I lost them.
So what'd you do to piss them
talking,
off?
more shooting.
I should be able to enable it, I don't know why. I guess I haven't played this game much on PS5, so I don't have anything unlocked. So yeah, I woke up earlier and I noticed that nothing was going on in the stream, so I looked at the schedule and I saw we were supposed to be playing High School Musical, but we weren't. So I was like, I looked into the VOD a bit and I saw that Matt was struggling. So we had like 1 hour, but it took me like, too much time to set this up. So yeah, now we're playing Uncharted. Boy, those pirates come from the boats.
Sully, where are you?
The boats? Yeah, that's where they come from. This first chapter is just extreme simple. Kill all the guys as they spawn, and then if you wait in certain spots on the boat, you despawn like the last wave. So that's why I was standing on the box there earlier.
Okay, that's not good.
Thank you, cool.
I don't think I can get my security deposit back.
Cavalry's here.
God.
Damn it.
Okay, thank you. I was pretty sure they were okay,
Hold
but
on, kid.
I had no way to
I'm not
make
as young
sure.
as I used to be.
So in chapter 2 is where things start happening.
Ha! Well, that was different. Although I must admit, equally as strenuous.
After this slow walking part, that is.
We're just about there.
You know,
Oh yeah, and by the way, this is like, I haven't played this game in a couple of months, so, you know, I just looked at my speedrun.com profile and was like, what can I run that's 40 minutes?
by the time he figured it out, I was...
So we're doing a lot of jumping, as you can see, and in this game, when you're not in combat, you want to be jumping a lot. Or rolling. Or shooting. Anything to cancel any slow
This is
animations.
like trying to find a bride in a brothel. Hell no. This is more like it.
Over here we're supposed to do like a bunch of platforming, but you can also just roll up against this root and get up here.
Think this is Incan?
Nah, it's older than that. Like
Or
2,000 years old.
you don't even have to roll at it, you can just like stand on it. But I find it easiest to roll
Good work, kid.
into the corner and then jump to the left.
Whoa, whoa, whoa. lot of crap behind.
Every Uncharted
Careful, Nate, that's
gamer's
quite
favorite thing is when you jump and Nate just like doesn't know where to jump, so he just does like a neutral jump. It's great. Oh yeah, that's a thing. So in this chapter we're introduced to the aim clip, which is basically what we're going to be doing for the entire run. You just like, you know, face perpendicular or like look along a wall. It can be an invisible wall or a visible wall or whatever, but you look along it and then you hold left and you mash aim. I wouldn't say mash the aim button, but it's close to mashing. Like, it is mashing, but it doesn't have to be that fast. A lot of the time save in this run is gained by doing this fast. Oh yeah. Yeah, this is the thing. Look, I saw an empty chair and I grabbed the opportunity.
I made it!
Looks like we're getting somewhere.
I'm okay!
Yeah, I'm hoping I get a good run, because if I don't, then it's gonna you know, I might not end on the hour. Oh, I knew that was gonna happen. I should have said that after I did this trick. Oh, okay, okay. Wait, how long is the next run? God. There we go. Okay. Then this run can be extremely slow. Preferably. Oh yeah. I wasn't able to start the timer, so if you can start the timer at like I don't know. That was great. Like 8 minutes. That'd be cool. No, I'm not gonna do glitchless. I was gonna do like with tweaks so I could put fast motion on to make it under like 45 minutes, but for some reason I wasn't able to enable them in the settings. Make it 9 minutes. Okay, so yeah, I clipped into the sub and triggered a checkpoint, no big deal. Yeah. I lost my train of thought. I'm like, I woke up not that long ago and immediately saw that, you know, the stream was idling, so I just jumped in, so I'm extremely not prepared for this. But you know, it is what it is. The subs, you know, there's nothing to talk about anyway with the sub. Other than, you know, ignore the fact that it's in the middle of a jungle on top of a waterfall. Yeah, that's... Oh, I forgot to do that. So welcome to this run of Resident Evil Dead Aim.
That's probably bad.
Okay, now that we're out of the sub, we just gotta make our way back through the temple we went through earlier, and thankfully it's much faster this time. Why wouldn't I tell Matt? Because then he'd get too excited.
Drake, look out!
Okay, that's an instance of like, not every wall is a man-made, so you can just clip through that plant, and it's... And every time I get like a rolling animation, I try to avoid it by shooting. You're gonna see that a lot. And on Explorer, these guys are real dumb and real
Long story.
inaccurate with their punches. I've never seen this before.
Okay.
Okay. Oh, so welcome to this run of Uncharted Drake's Fortune. I didn't put the apostrophe in the layout, so you'll have to ignore that. Okay, so now this part isn't really important. We're gonna go here, and then there's gonna be like 2 guys here, and then 2 guys on the top of this. Okay, I think the one behind me died, so I don't want to kill this guy. So you want to leave like one of these 4 guys at the end alive, because at the end of this part, you go into a cutscene and you trick the game into maintaining a combat thing.
Strangers trying to kill me.
So now I'm in the next
Burger
chapter,
plane.
which I shouldn't be in
Plane's missing.
combat, but
Most likely dead.
I'm running like I'm in
Okay.
combat.
Great start.
That's cool. And I like the method we use to make that extremely consistent is leaving one of the last four guys inside the temple alive, and then shooting into the cutscene. And it works every time. Oh yeah, and, you know, don't worry about this. So chapter 4 is usually like big chapter where you go through I mean, it's still a big chapter in this, but it's a big chapter where you go through like fights upon fights upon fights. But at the start we skip the trigger, and then we're like either, you know, don't have other triggers loaded or are skipping other triggers, and incidentally we're also skipping checkpoints, so you know it could come into play, but hopefully not. And we can, because we have combat suite from the last chapter, we can just sprint through this entire section. Can you? Okay, I can do this. I've never been on that ledge before, but you live and you learn. Great. So yeah, we're carrying the same checkpoint from the start until the next part. Can you go through this thing? Still carrying the same checkpoint. just you know, despawning everything. Did he? Did he sing that? I don't remember that part. Okay, so my movement here in this waterfall section is pretty specific. Learned through years of falling into the waterfalls. I'm not saying anything. Okay, so it's specific because if you know, press X at the wrong time or whatever, then you fall into the waterfall, and if you fall into the waterfall, then you go back to the beginning of the chapter, and that's why everyone loves chapter 4. But we're good, so the checkpoint is like before that falling platform thing. And then, maybe you didn't notice, but so if you're really quick with that truck, you can jump into the next checkpoint as the cutscene there, little cutscene there is happening. So you hit the checkpoint in the cutscene, and then you can reload it and skip like 60% of it. Cool. As soon as the camera moves right, restart checkpoint. This part's cool. There's a barrel over here. I like the barrel. I'm gonna take cover against the barrel, then jump over it, and I'm out of bounds. Pretty cool. But it's RNG whether or not the enemies blow it up. I don't know if it's placebo or not, but like, I killed one of those guys, and I feel like what you want to do is either kill him or leave him alone. Because if you shoot at him like once and flinch him and don't kill him, he likes to shoot the barrel. But if you don't flinch him, then he usually doesn't like to shoot it as much, but he still will do it. And the camera does mean things here. And yeah, this is another like big, fight section where you're supposed to be fighting a bunch of guys, but I would like to avoid that if at all possible. Okay. Oh, got the good rope. Most of the time when I grab the rope, I don't get enough speed to like jump immediately off. Oh.
Thank you.
That's a good reference, mate. Okay. Do this part. So you only want to shoot the guy who wants to get on the turret. The other guys don't really do anything to you, but the turret does a lot of damage, even on Explorer.
These guys keep coming
So
from.
you just shoot that guy and you can run through it, no problem. This place needs a
Could use
plumber.
a good plumber.
Oh.
Son of a bitch! Where'd they all come from?
So for this part, we don't have to like fight the waves upon waves of enemies. We just have to clip outside the arena for the game to be like, oh yeah, you did the thing, and then clip back in, and this gate here is active, so we just like open it, and that triggers the end of the fight. So that's how you do that fight.
Oh, don't!
And then that's how you do crank skip. That's like the hardest thing in the game. Okay. Oh yeah, how did the how did the unearthed run go? Oh, hello, Wild. See, this is the same magic that resulted to my performance at GDQ. It was just like, wake up early and be delirious when you do your run, and you will do things. Thanks for the luck. Half of the treasures being missing does sound like a thing that would be accurate with Unearthed. It's like, it doesn't surprise me. Okay. There's a checkpoint there. I hit, which loads in all these guys. Because if you don't... There's like a series of checkpoints in this area you have to hit before you exit the... like, are able to end the chapter. So you need to run through some stuff here. Thankfully on Explorer it's not too bad. As long as you take care of the third guy. And crowd control with the AK. And we're through. Wild, yeah. I haven't played this game a lot on the PS5, so I really don't have anything unlocked. Oh, let me check actually. Do I have any skins? Let's see. Let's do Sully. Oh. The most efficient restart checkpoint in man history. The history of man. I don't think I've ever done a run of this as Sully. Which is a shame. Yeah, I don't want to celebrate the Astros. That's the last thing I want to do.
Where'd she go?
Okay, so we're just about at the end of this chapter. Then we get to the best chapter in the game, unanimously voted by everyone who's ever played this game.
This must have been Drake's. So what were you looking for, huh?
Oh yeah, this chapter is it hasn't started yet, but this chapter was the automatic vote. If you didn't vote, it automatically went to chapter 7. So do with that information what you may, but you know, you can't argue with democracy. So this is the part of the game where you interview your co-commentator, but I don't have any co-commentators because of the circumstances. But you don't have to like shoot anybody here, really, but with some minor exceptions. But usually I like to keep active by shooting people in this chapter. That's a good joke, mate. I really like that one. It was inventive. That's why they call you a brain genius. It's funny, like, if you don't do anything in this chapter, like, the game doesn't want too many enemies, you know, active at the same time, so if you don't kill any enemies, they just, like, kind of pile up, and then eventually they, like, do their best to remove themselves from the situation. By, like, I don't know, just, like, spontaneously combusting, or, like, driving off a cliff. Oh my god. And if you want to do a challenge run of this on like the harder difficulties, this chapter is the absolute hardest. Okay, I don't know how to take that, but that's interesting. So we're almost at the end of this, and like this chapter in my head, and I think most Uncharted runners agree, is like what marks the end of the early game and the start of the middle game. It's the truth. The early game is like chapters 1 through 6, and then the middle game is like some action, 8 to 12, I guess, or 13. It depends on how you think of things, and then the rest is just we'll see. Oh yeah, I'm not even like, I'm still halfway through my caffeinated beverage because I didn't get a chance to drink it because of setting up for this. Well, I'm in a similar state to the cheeky run. Okay, the jet skis, everyone's favorite. Everyone loves the jet skis. Unanimously voted the best part of the game. Thankfully we get to skip the worst one. I mean, sadly we don't get to do the fastest one because of skips. Or the best one, I mean. From this point on, you don't really have to shoot any of the barrels. You can just drive past them, and like these sets of barrels, they never hit them. I've never seen these blow up. That's the first jet ski. And we like put ourselves into an explosion as we go off the jet ski to maintain combat speed. Really convenient how that works, because the skip would have to be done way different if we didn't have combat speed. That's the first instance of using photo mode to load stuff. It's pretty useful. Because the camera dictates what's loaded more than anything. Which makes sense on a technical level. Oh. So we can use that to our advantage to load some areas we're not supposed to be in yet. Okay, so this clip is annoying, and it is showing its true face. Okay, there we go. I'm gonna jinx myself and say you don't want to fall off here, because if you do, then you soft lock. Yeah, double jinxed it. That's how you do it. Okay, this part has a pretty clear strat. You can just like kind of like it doesn't look that impressive, but if you don't take like a specific line through that room, that turret will eat you up. But if you take the correct path through there, you can like avoid its bullets for quite a long time. It was Rocky that found that. Okay, so you might be confused as to in which chapter we are right now. So we after the part on the car, we entered chapter 8, and now we are in chapter 11. So, you know, a lot of the middle and end game of this game is like just like we're just going past a lot of stuff. So this chapter is a fan favorite. Everyone loves driving up this river, shooting these barrels. When you play this game enough, you develop like a sixth sense for when this section is gonna go poorly or well. And I'm still trying to I'm debating in my head whether or not it's going well. I think it's gonna go well. Let's see. Because Elena's blind fire is like, it's random whether or not she hits the barrels or not. But without having any sort of thing to back up my claims, it feels like her accuracy setting is set at the start of the chapter, so sometimes she's just like really just not hitting barrels. And she'll just like not hit barrels for the entire chapter. And on a different run, she'd just like a sniper just hits everything. This is a pretty good Elena seat. That part's always scary. So this is the final section of this chapter. We just like line fire through here, take this line, and then hope the enemies don't kill you, which can happen even on this difficulty. Okay, we're good.
Thanks.
All right? Okay. Let's head
Right,
up to the
so
monastery and see what's
chapter
going on.
13 is really interesting. I'm gonna do a launcher because this is 90%, so I don't have to adhere to the no launches thing.
Love of God.
My preferred category of this game is like 90% no airwalk with this specific launch. Let's see, I can pull it up semi quickly, and I'll explain. Okay, you wanna roll into a specific spot over here, and then in a specific timing, press D-pad up and circle. I also push the shoot button, because some of the launches act differently and they're all kind of weird. Okay, we're good.
I know.
And then I'm going to restart checkpoint in here, just to make my life easier. Let's launch. They're pretty fun. They're pretty broken. Okay, there you go. But if you restart checkpoint there, then you spawn the enemies in a different way, and you can get combat speed without having to like go through a bunch of other enemies. I don't like the way I was set up there. This is real rusty. Let's go. We'll do a couple of puzzle skip attempts since we're not, you know, we're not worrying about time. So, in this part, this graveyard is in chapter 15, but we're in the state of the game is in chapter 13. So we're trying to load chapter 16 area. We got a cover clip, Jimmy clip or something, I don't know what we call that. Up this wall, then we go over here, flip through here. Do a specific jump, and yeah, we missed it. Hold on, my alarm is going off. Hold on. There we go. No, we're not in Michigan yet. I disagree with that statement. Like, Chicago is at least close to Michigan. This island is not close to Michigan. Get through? Yeah. It's important to have the AK in hand when you do this flip, because then it goes faster. Or it doesn't specifically need to be the AK, but the right, like the long gun. Let's try this again. Oh, that was close. Oh yeah, the reason why I'm going... Okay, that was interesting. The reason I'm going to photo mode there is because you need to load the next area as you're like jumping into it, because if you don't load it, Lena dies. She's set to die if you leave the combat arena, but you load the next area for enough that she doesn't die. I'm just gonna do the slow strat. Okay, that's what happens when you do it wrong. Okay, so the other way you can do this is go down the stair, and you touch this door. That triggers chapter 15, which loads this area in a different way. Now you can see it. Yes, indeed, touch door. And now we can't use the same method to get through, but there is another way found very recently of doing puzzle skip in chapter 15, which is cool. But we're gonna do this puzzle
Wait a
instead.
second. It's something to do with these symbols.
Let's see if I can remember the puzzle. I think I'm supposed to turn that shell one more time. Snake goes like that. These arrows go 180 degrees. Oh yeah, and the shell goes 180 degrees as well. Is that true? Oh yeah, yeah. There's a you can go like around the other side of this arena and then jump through. It's Rocky found it like less than a month ago.
Well, there's no way but forward.
It's like easier in some respects, I think, but also kind of annoying at the same time.
What is this place?
A really elaborate
It's in the
way to
Uncharted
hide the
Discord.
damn treasure.
You can check it out. Now we don't have combat speed, which makes this part more annoying. Normally you'd not have to walk over there, and you would have combat speed, so you didn't have to jump. Because jumping over here is so much scarier than it looks, because sometimes Nate will just like waltz over one of these rails and jump to his death. It's great fun. Okay, so, and then we can waltz over here and then drop the jump. It's fun. So, okay, I'm glad I didn't do puzzle skip. That would have been painful with puzzle skip. It would have brought me all the way back to, you know, that part when I started puzzle skip at the entrance of the sanctuary.
Oh man, I'm completely lost.
What is that emote? Okay, there we go. So that skips like a whole lot of platforming.
Hey, Boule! Last man alive gets the gold. You lose. Kill them both.
Okay, best question in the game. I switched guns. Hello gun? Okay, the gun disappeared. Ah. That was fine. That fight, that's like one of the more involved fights in the run. It's hard to do really quickly. True.
This leads somewhere.
Okay. So that's chapter 16.
There's gotta be a way out of here.
Hello?
Looks
Hello?
like they're.
Hello? I'm pressing triangle.
Come on. Oh, you're heavier than you look. Can you reach it?
So you can trigger this cutscene faster if you
Look
Looks like an
fall
old
into this pit at the right
hoist or
time.
something. There's a rope. I'll try
There's
to
a
lower
rope.
it down to you.
Got a rope here. Yeah, so these guys have a set pattern. That guy really confused me. Okay, okay. I did not want to do that. These guys have a set pattern. I've never really learned it all that well.
Damn! Totally rusted. It
But
won't move.
you can save time by learning it. I usually just stand here in this edge, which is like this part of the level faces like the parts where most of them come out. There you go. Now we're just waiting for Elena.
I got it! It's moving! Grab the rope!
So this part took me years to figure out how to do the right way. So I pick like I would have the AK or the M4, M16, whatever, whichever one it is. I just keep holding up, and then I start shooting, and I like quickly turn the stick around. And this is the fastest way to do this, because even though the direction you should be running is down, if you keep holding up, all the way through that rope, the game thinks you're up is facing the camera until you like adjust your stick. Oh yeah, it's not gonna work. So this is chapter 18, and we're just gonna I'm not a fan of these zombie things, so let's just go up here instead. Right, so now we're in chapter 20, and we're almost at the end. Last chapters go by real quick. Normally, in this section, you're supposed to like fight a lot of guys in this courtyard, and then you're supposed to move into the church, and there's gonna be more guys. And yeah, I don't want to do that, so I'm just gonna go straight into the church. Hopefully, yeah, there we go. And then what we used to do is clip into the altar to trigger the next chapter, but what I'm gonna do instead is clip through the wall and drop into an area that I'm gonna load in, which is like, almost at the end of the next chapter, which admittedly is extremely short. So I'm gonna shimmy over here, look down, and when Nate starts screaming, or Sully, go into photo mode, and then when this loads in, exit photo mode, and then we'll load this cutscene. That's a pretty cool thing. Oh, there's Sully. The two brothers Sullivan fighting it out. Get out of here, dude. Okay. Okay, so final level. So you're just gonna clip through the boxes here, and then you're just gonna clip through the boxes here, I don't want to deal with any of those guys. And here's the final boss. And because we're an explorer, we can just like rush him. And ready on time, Jake. As you know. And hi. Well, it's Uncharted. I've done it here before, just like impromptu run because we're eat some time. Thanks for the GGs. It's the most unprepared I've ever been for a speedrun, so you know. There's that.
Oh, Nate!
There's some bangers in this cutscene, so I'll run through that if you want.
Adios, asshole.
But yeah, I'm gonna be back in like an hour. It's Detroit, so that's gonna be interesting. And then I'm gonna be also back tonight in like 10 hours or so with Final Fantasy 10 cutscene remover, which is gonna be fun. And then tomorrow with Inspector Gadget, which is also gonna be fun.
Yeah, save the world, triumph over evil. Pretty typical.
Really?
It's a shame we're leaving empty-handed, though.
Oh well,
Well, I guess Michigan block starts now.
I did manage to save one small thing. Here, I thought you might miss this.
Thanks.
Yeah.
You two got a funny idea of romantic.
Sully!
What classic?
Wow, you look like hell.
You should see the other guys. Got us a boat.
We already have a boat.
Yeah, big boat.
Yeah.
I
I'm
like
just
this
watching
one
this
better.
cutscene.
Sully, you beautiful son of a bitch!
Borrowed it off a couple of pirates who were too dead to care.